Hi, and welcome back to the Path to Better A1C. I am your host, Jenny Pena, your diabetes prevention coach, and I am so glad that you're here for episode 4. Today, we're going to dive into a topic that hits very close to home for so many of us, and is how to support a loved one who is living with diabetes, pre-diabetes, has that higher risk, and is having that overwhelming feeling or of seeing that A1C and those blood sugar levels raise. This can be a challenging journey, but it's one that nobody needs to face alone. So I'm going to be sharing 3 simple strategies that will help you show support without feeling overwhelmed, without making that loved one feel uncomfortable or different, and that they will just feel that you're there to support them and to love them. So by the end of this episode, you're going to have these practical ways to build that healthier habits together and strengthen your bond while doing that. So let's get started. Now, the first strategy is share the journey, right? Diabetes, pre-diabetes, it can feel very isolating. But it does not have to be a solo mission, right? When you actively participate, when you feel that you are still included, it shows your loved one that you're not alone. So, a lot of people and a lot of my clients may say, now that I have diabetes, every time there is a family gathering, every time there is a social event, every time we need to go out, everybody's overly concerned about what to cook, how they need to switch the meals, how they need to do all of these things. And it can be very overwhelming. So the first strategy that I have, if you have a family member that is close to you, is try to share that journey, right? And here's some ways that you can do that without necessarily making that person feel pressured. Cook together. Dedicate one day a week to do meal prepping together or go shopping together. And try out fun diabetes-friendly recipes. It could be some soups that are loaded with lots of veggies, lean protein dishes, with healthy sides. Explore, try to find some Instagram accounts that share different ideas. There's so much information out there, and you can make it a bonding activity and cook together and build together and prep together. And that way you're encouraging your family member to incorporate these healthy habits, and indirectly it's going to have an amazing impact on their blood sugar levels. Another way is track progress. You can have a shared app to track like your steps or your movement, or maybe a simple notebook to track your sugar levels or steps that you're taking, and celebrate that milestone. Make it a very special event and celebrate that milestone. So that you can have that tracking, and maybe just pick something either every week or every other week or every month to just celebrate together and do an activity together, and try to make that activity to not be necessarily around food, but around some sort of hobby that you both enjoy. Shop together, and I mentioned that before. Turn grocery shopping into a team activity, right? Like look for fresh produce. There is a list on the internet with all the different vegetables by color. Switch, pick a color and pick a new vegetable every week that you want to explore. And start looking at diabetes friendly snacks. See the labels, see the ingredients, right? And do that together. Make it something fun and exploratory. And also, if they need the support, attend appointments with them if they're comfortable. If they need somebody to be there with the doctor or the nutritionist visit, it is a great way to show support. So normalize that. Instead of making it very different, normalize that, okay, you're going to the nutritionist or you're going to the doctor, and give them that support. And another thing is to even develop a vision board together. create that visual map of your health goals and incorporate your own personal goals, right? Like we all have different things, so make it fun and include that family member that sometimes is actually pushed out because of the diabetes. So by getting actively involved, you're creating a partnership that not only inspires them, but it may inspire you as well. And it creates an amazing bonding experience. Now, there is another strategy that you can use, and it is somewhat tied to some of the things that I already mentioned, but it's build healthy habits as a team. The second strategy has to do with making lifestyle changes a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable by doing it with a partner. So I have always told my clients that sometimes you're better off if you have somebody that is into fitness and you're struggling to go to the gym, to have somebody that's going to go with you, that you already have that commitment, because it's harder for you to kind of convince yourself out of that habit. So some ideas, a walking challenge. Sometimes even at work, maybe at the workplace, maybe you have a walking challenge. Maybe there is a company or a non-for-profit that is close to your heart, that supports a cause that is very dear and near to your heart. And that is a way also. Participate in a 5K, enroll in a corporate challenge. All these things that you can do as a group are amazing. So bring that family along and make it a fun event that not only is going to help them build some healthy habits, it's also going to have you incorporating these healthy habits as well. Another thing, another great idea is hydration reminder. We know that hydration is so important for blood sugar levels. So getting matching water bottles and challenge, maybe taking a picture of like, okay, this is how much water I've been drinking. Just make it fun and make it that it's going to be a way of encouraging each other to do these things. Another way is healthy snacking. We know that snacks sometimes can be tough, and if you're struggling with high blood sugar levels, that is another indicator pretty much that your blood sugar is going up and down. It's when you have these sudden cravings, and sometimes cravings for sugar, sometimes craving for salty, but exploring and looking at alternates for maybe certain snacks that are not the best for you. So going over all these things, that's amazing. Getting nuts, getting veggie sticks, getting like meat sticks, swapping for Greek yogurt, which is amazing, and putting some fruits in there. There's so many alternatives that you can use for snacking that is going to help you feel full and that is going to prevent those sugar spikes in your blood. Weekend workouts. I actually had a client that made it a point, and it ended up to be a family event, and they will sign up with these Zumba classes. Again, not sponsored, but I love Zumba. And they will go for these classes. So if there is a class, golf, a certain activity that you all enjoy, make it a fun family event. Incorporate these people. It could be yoga, it could be dancing, bike rides as a family. All these things are amazing, and it makes the exercise and the movement and incorporating these things less structured and a lot more fun. And also set some sleep goals, right? Commit to a shared bedtime routine, or even include that nice conversation, even like a little chat before you go to bed, to share what are you grateful for the day. What is one amazing thing to be thankful for? What is a great win or experience that you had on that day? Just to make sure that you get that sleep, because we already know that sleep has a direct impact into insulin resistance. So if you're not getting quality sleep, then that insulin resistance is going to get tougher and tougher to manage, and it's going to impact your blood sugar. So the key is consistency. So all these habits, it's not only going to help your loved one manage your condition, it's going to improve your own health and strengthen your bond with that family member. Now, I have a third and last strategy. And this is tough because sometimes with diet mentality and how society has perceived what being healthy or having a healthy lifestyle or how they embrace certain medical conditions has put in us a way of a judgment almost. But I will say encourage balance, not perfection, right? Managing diabetes is pretty much a marathon. You have to keep at it slow and steady versus a sprint. And striving for perfection or striving to change every single aspect of our lifestyle, it can actually lead to burnout. And it could be actually overwhelming, impact your stress, impacts your sleep. And guess what happens when you're stressed out and you're not sleeping? Well, your blood sugar levels spike. So again, encourage balance and not perfection. And here are some ways that you can help. Cheat meal recovery. If your loved one indulges in a treat and you see that person maybe eating something that you know it's not the best choice, instead of criticizing, suggest to take a short walk afterwards or plan their next meal to be balanced. Try to keep that tone supported but not critical, right? Or if it is something and you know that there is an alternative that have similar flavors profile, suggest that. And I'll give you an example. Apple pie. You can swap that with maybe a healthier version of an apple crumble. I actually enjoyed slicing apples, putting them in the air fryer, warming them up. And when you take that out, and sometimes I even put a little bit of like frozen Greek yogurt in there, it's delicious. And it's a healthier alternative if, let's say, your family member loves apple pie and you're trying to reduce that carb intake. So thinking about these things may actually help, and they're going to be able to enjoy it and not feel that they're criticized. Because a lot of people that have diabetes, at times they feel that shame. They feel that, oh, my habits actually caused this on me. And while lifestyle can impact your blood sugars and can cause you to develop diabetes, there are other elements as well. So again, keep the tone supported and not critical. Another way of doing this is to set weekly goals. Start very small by focusing on one change a week and encourage that to your family member. If you live together, just one change a week. And that's actually what I try to do with my clients. Sometimes they come and they want to incorporate exercise, and I'm going to do this in nutrition, and I'm going to do this, and it becomes so overwhelming. They have these 10-piece plan, and it's coming from 0 to that. Most likely you're setting yourself up for failure, and then you're going to feel so deflated after. So picking one change a week. It could be adding a vegetable at one specific meal. Maybe swapping the sugary drinks. Maybe reducing. And I have had some clients that sometimes that is the key for them to even start losing weight. Because maybe they're drinking all these sugary drinks and then they started slowly eliminating that and swapping, and they immediately saw a difference. Celebrate non-scale victories. That is another way of keeping that encouragement and not sounding critical, right? Acknowledge the progress that isn't necessarily tied to weight or tied to the A1C levels, tied to your blood sugars, but maybe tied to improved energy or better sleep or increased mobility, right? Because you're creating all these changes. And celebrate these things. One thing that I would even say is when you're tracking, and this goes even with when you feel like you have failed on something. If let's say you set a goal that you were going to go to the gym 3 days this week and you only made it one day, you hear how I'm saying you only made it one day, instead of saying that, say, I made it to the gym once this week. When you're adding only or at least, you're almost taking away from that win. The fact that you made it to the gym and completed that workout, that is a win. A lot of things can happen. Maybe you set up for 3 and you only made it 1, or you only made it 2 days. Focus on the celebration, on the wins, on the things that you actually did, and even think about what made it possible for you to make it to the gym those days. And that may be the key for you to increase the frequency and increase the likelihood of you sticking to that habit. Now, 2 more ways is to plan fun meals together. Again, family gatherings and social gatherings are very challenging for people with diabetes and very challenging for the family members because sometimes they don't know what to do, and at times they're afraid that they're going to cook stuff that maybe that family member cannot eat or should not eat. So it's a lot of stress. And then the family member feels ashamed and feels uncomfortable because now they feel like they're putting the others into some sort of trouble or giving an extra task or having to prepare a separate meal for me. And that can be very uncomfortable on both sides. So plan fun meals. Think about the next gathering that you have and work together to make healthier versions of your favorite dishes. Low carb tacos, or maybe like try to find some chicken nuggets that instead of being fried, like you're going to bake them. So look for alternatives that are going to still build that bond as a family, and they're making it fun and everybody can enjoy it without necessarily thinking, oh, this is a diabetes friendly meal. This is just an amazing meal and you can all enjoy it. And also positive affirmations, sending supportive messages, leaving notes, reminding them that progress is what matters the most and not perfection is amazing. So take time to encourage them, take time to acknowledge your wins, and these are like amazing ways that you can make that family member that is trying to change their habits feel very supported and very cared for. So encouraging balance will help keep the journey sustainable. It's going to reduce the stress and it's going to help them manage their blood sugar levels, lower their A1C, put that diabetes and that prediabetes in remission through lifestyle changes. So there you have it. 3 powerful strategies to support a loved one that has diabetes, that has prediabetes, or even is at a higher risk of developing diabetes and they're watching their diet. Remember, this journey is about progress, not perfection. And your support can make all the difference. So if you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to the Path to Better A1C. I release new episodes every week to help you and your loved ones navigate the journey to better health, balance their blood sugars, lower their A1C, and ultimately my mission and vision is to bring awareness so that we can all prevent the ongoing epidemic of diabetes. Also, if you know somebody who might benefit from this episode, share with them. Let's spread the support and the understanding. Until next time, I am Jenny Pena, and I'll see you back here next week for more tips and insights on how to balance your blood sugar, lower your A1C, lose some weight, and live a healthier life.